Rain hammered the rooftop like fists, streaking across the steel railing where Emily Harris clung, her toes inches from the drop. Michael Reed lunged forward, his fingers locking around her wrist just as she slipped. His breath came ragged, voice cracking against the storm. "Don't do it." The words weren't a command, they were a plea, torn straight from his chest. Emily twisted, mascara running black down her cheeks. "You don't understand. I have nothing left." Her body leaned outward, the city yawning beneath her. Michael yanked, his shoulder screaming with pain, but he held fast. "I know what it feels like to vanish," he said, eyes fierce. "Like you're nothing but a shadow. But you're still here. I see you." For a heartbeat, the rooftop froze, silent but for the wind. Then the stairwell door slammed open. Boots pounded. "Step away from her," an officer barked, weapon raised. Michael's jaw clenched, his grip still on Emily's trembling arm. "I'm not the danger," he rasped. "I'm the only thing keeping her alive." The rain-slicked rooftop turned into a stage of chaos. Michael pulled Emily over the ledge, his knees slamming into concrete so hard the shock made him gasp. She collapsed against him, shivering, half-conscious. Before he could even catch his breath, 3 officers rushed forward, guns pointed square at his chest. "Hands where we can see them," one barked, voice sharp as broken glass. Michael raised his palms slowly, but kept his body between Emily and the storm. His daughter Leah burst from the stairwell, her thin jacket soaked, umbrella torn by the wind. "That's my dad," she screamed, her voice cracking. "He saved her." Nobody looked her way. Another officer sneered, "People like you sneaking around school rooftops. Looks more like an ambush than a rescue." The words hit Michael harder than the rain, as if stripping him down to nothing but suspicion. Emily tried to speak, her lips trembling. He pulled me back," but her voice broke, drowned by the storm. Cell phones lifted from the crowd below, recording, twisting the moment into something ugly. A bystander muttered, "Look at him, caught red-handed." Leah clutched the railing, her knuckles white. "Stop it," she cried, eyes wide with terror. Michael turned his head toward her, meeting her gaze through the blur of rain. "It's okay, baby," he whispered, even as cold steel pressed into his spine. "Breathe." But inside, rage and fear tangled tight. He knew how quickly the truth could be buried when people only wanted a villain. An officer slammed Michael against the brick wall, the cuffs snapping around his wrists so tight his skin burned. Emily cried out, "No, stop." "He saved me," but the storm swallowed her words like they were nothing. Michael's forehead scraped against the wall, blood mixing with rain. The officer hissed, "Save her. Don't play games. We saw you dragging her." A low tremor shook Michael's chest, not fear, but memory. In Afghanistan, he had been thrown against walls before, accused by strangers who didn't want to hear the truth. The shouts, the weapons, the blind orders, it all came roaring back. His chest tightened, panic pressing like sandbags. But then he drew in one steady breath, clinging to it like a lifeline. Leah's voice cracked through the thunder. "Let him go," she screamed, stepping closer, her small frame shaking. Another officer shoved a hand toward her. "Back up, kid, or you'll regret it." Michael's body went rigid. His eyes, dark with fury, locked on the man threatening his daughter. For the first time that night, his voice cut with steel. "Don't touch her." The rooftop fell silent, save for the rain. His defiance didn't come with fists or violence, it came in the way he refused to bow, even with blood on his face and chains biting his wrists. Emily finally found her voice. She stumbled forward, rain plastering her hair to her face, and screamed, "You're arresting the wrong man. He saved my life." Her words cut sharper than the sirens below. The officers froze, caught between procedure and truth. Then the rooftop door banged again. A tall figure stepped out, umbrella useless against the storm, Principal Harris, his face pale as the girl behind Michael whispered, "Dad." The scene shifted in an instant. The officer's stiff posture cracked as they recognized the name, the power. "That's your daughter," one muttered. Harris's eyes blazed. "Yes. And the man you're cuffing is the reason she's still breathing." The silence that followed was heavier than the storm. One officer lowered his weapon. Another swallowed hard, shifting back. Leah rushed forward, pressing herself into her father's side, her hands tugging at the cuffs. Michael didn't gloat. He only lifted his gaze to Harris, rain and blood streaking down his face. "I told you I wasn't the danger." The principal hesitated, shame flashing in his eyes. Emily clung to Michael's sleeve, her body trembling. If he let go, I'd be gone. In that moment, the power flipped. The man in cuffs wasn't the suspect anymore. He was the anchor holding everyone steady. The rooftop became still, the storm's roar fading beneath the weight of truth. The officers unlocked Michael's cuffs, their eyes avoiding his. Leah rushed into his arms, clinging to him as if she could anchor the whole world. Emily leaned heavily on his shoulder, her voice raw but firm. "He saved me. And you almost destroyed him for it." The principal's face was pale, shame carving new lines into his skin. "Michael. I misjudged you." Michael didn't gloat, he simply lifted Leah higher in his arms. "All I wanted was to keep someone from falling," he said quietly. Below, the crowd shifted uneasily, whispers changing tone, the story reshaping in real time. Phones lowered, the narrative no longer fitting their rush to condemn. Michael stood straighter, not because he was vindicated, but because he refused to let humiliation write the ending. The rain eased, leaving silence in its wake, a silence filled with the weight of what had almost been lost, and the fragile chance of something new beginning.